Thank you. Okay, I can do that. You've got golf. You've got golf. Okay. Good evening. Welcome to the November 21st regular board meeting of the POA. And it's good to see everybody out there, and we thank you for coming out on this beautiful evening. We need the rain, I understand. If you will join me in the pledge, I'd appreciate it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. First item on the agenda is celebrating success. It's always a fun one.
Jessica, since you're right there, why don't you come on up? Hello. For celebrating success tonight, the first one is Sue Parker, who I'd like to invite you up here, Sue. She is a water instructor out at Branchwood, and she had to come in and fill the shoes of someone who had been there for almost 19 years, which is not an easy thing to do. And she worked tireless in the pool, spent many hours getting to know these members, getting to know these ladies, and she was very nervous, I think. And after the first week, they came in and they said, wow, Sue is great. And she exhibits some of the things I really think make a great teacher and instructor. She knows how to build people up, and she knows how to push them. So the ladies really appreciate that. So thank you, Sue, so much. And the next one, Miss Lucy. Dynamite does come in small packages. I have to say that. What can I say about Miss Lucy? She has been with the POA for a long time, and Lucy is one of the most motivational, inspiring, positive people I have ever had the pleasure of working with. And a member came in and she said, you know, I could barely get out of bed for a long time. And I was getting a shot once a month for my back. I started coming to Lucy's classes, and I get a shot once a year now. Yeah, so Lucy, yep, you are awesome. So thank you very much, the members. Rick, you want to come on up?
Good evening. I oversee the Lake Rangers here at the POA, and just by the nature of their job, they tend to get nominated for this kind of award on a pretty regular basis because of just the nature of their job. But this time in particular, we really wanted to recognize Gary Barnett. On October 21st, Ranger Gary Barnett was flagged down by a member who stated that her sister and children were stranded on a pontoon boat. The motor would not start, and the boat was drifting towards the Loman Dam in high winds, and I think also high water, if I'm not mistaken. Ranger Barnett pulled the boat away from the rocks and prevented the boat and occupants from possibly going over the spillway. The operator was very inexperienced and had 3 children on board. Gary's quick and decisive action is deserving of this award.
And those are 3 examples that make Bella Vista special. Okay, approving of the minutes for the October 23rd or 24th regular meeting. I would ask for a motion, please.
So moved.
A second? Any discussion, changes, or additions to that? If not, I'll call for a vote. All those accepting? Oh, I forgot to announce, Jim Abrahamson has David Watchell's proxy. That's why he's double-handed tonight, double-fisted tonight. He has the proxy, and that's so recorded.
Got it.
Okay. So that's 9. November 14th, board work session. The budget presentation we had last Thursday. I'd like a motion on that one. A second? That would be Jerry Hoover. Any discussion or addition, corrections, or if not, I'll call for a vote on that one. Okay, thank you. Okay, we move into the joint advisory committees, lakes. There we go. I knew he was here.
Good evening, I'm Kelly Austin. From the Lakes meeting in November, the Lake Ann drawdown, I think, has started. They're letting that down and will be down for the winter so they can work on docks and facilities. Most of our meeting was spent, again, on the wake boat issue. John and the Lakes team got together in October and made a video for us of a wake boat on Lake Windsor under different scenarios, different distances from the shore, and they have wedges on them that can force the water in one direction or the other, and we saw some examples of that and how the waves actually hit the bank and what height they were at. And so we have a number of proposals that we have considered, and we've sent those out to Tom and legal for kind of review, and so we hope to have that put together for a proposal that we vote on at the December meeting.
Okay.
And assuming that passes, we'll have that for you guys for the December meeting.
Okay. Am I understanding correctly that those videos are on the webpage?
That I'm not sure of, Tom. They are?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
On our website, in the committee section, go under Lakes and you'll find the video.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Any other questions, comments? Thank you, we appreciate that. Recreation. Gary.
I'm Gary Griffin, the chair of the committee. We did not have quorum thanks to the weather. So
That's for sure.
it was for informational purposes only. We did not take notes or minutes at that point in time. We will reconvene next month and pick up where we left off.
They say rain, sleet, and hail won't keep them away. It did, didn't it? Because we had it all. Golf. Who did you tell me was going to take that one? David, were you going to take that one? Dean is here. Dean Collins. Dean Collins, are you here? Yes, he is.
I got the notice about 5:45.
Well, that's good.
I did pretty good.
We like to give you good notice.
Get up here.
Dean Collins on the golf committee. I always get nervous when it starts raining, and I'm sure all the ground crew does.
That's what I said.
We've had enough rain, I think, for the time being anyway. About the only thing I got to report is we continue to lag behind on the revenue. Golf rounds and cart revenue's down. Revenue, the main thing is membership rounds continue to go down. Guest rounds are up, membership is down, for whatever reason. There's all kinds of conjecture out there. It's the weather, it's this, it's that. For whatever reason, members aren't playing near as many rounds as they used to. Mm-hmm. And that's the bottom line anyway. The committee thought Keith Eames' team does a tremendous job getting the courses ready to play. I mean, I can't believe how quick they get some of the courses back in operation. So they're doing a great job. Total rounds were down 7,500. Member rounds down 9,000, and non-member rounds up 2,200 and some. So non-member rounds continue to do pretty good. Handicap flag program was renewed till I think March or something like that. There's been some discussion because there's some people that don't maybe follow all the rules, but we felt very strongly that it was the benefit of those people that needed it. We want to keep people playing as long as they can. So,
And we find they do.
Any questions?
Dean, is there, we've been waiting and we're going to wait a while yet on a update on the Scottsdale bridges, or have you got any
I haven't,
information
no.
from Keith or anything?
No, I think
Okay.
we're waiting on more information, last I heard. We haven't decided what to do yet. Tom might have some information on that. Same thing on Birchdale. I think Birchdale right now is on hold because we're waiting on figures and everything with all the storm damage and everything else. I think it's been hard to get engineers involved, hard to get information. So I think Birchdale's still on hold, and I don't know any more information on the front side of Scottsdale.
That's just the best report I've heard all year, Dean.
So Keith has met with the engineer, the bridge engineer, regarding Scottsdale. He's waiting for the report back. So it's a lengthy process, but we're working through it.
Any more? Thank you very much, Dean. We appreciate it. Community involvement. John.
Hi, I'm John Bowman. Last weekend, we had a coat drive for families, kids, etc. We had a person actually donate $2,000 for new coats. We went shopping, got new coats, got hats and stuff like that. It was a great success. It was the first time that we've opened up the store, and we had, I would venture to say, 500 to 600 coats, if not more. And we probably had 200, 300 people come in, and not just kids, but parents too. It was a great success. Thank you.
It was a great. I want to extend my thank you to the group because they did work hard on up to and through the weekend. And the people that came in, I happened to be over there for a little while on Saturday morning. People came in, were excited, they were thrilled with it, and it gave them a dignity in getting a coat rather than coming out of a bin or anything like that. It was an actual store, and it was just come in and help yourself and find what you want and what your kids like, etc. So kids got to make some choices, and it was a fun event, and you did an excellent job, and I commend all of you. So. Okay, a little bit about financials before we get started. Normally when we have the early meetings in November and December, we don't have financials yet. My understanding is they got finished late this afternoon?
Yes.
So the board has not seen them either. So there will probably not be a lot of questions from the board because they have not seen those, and normally we wait till the next month. But since they were done, we're going to go ahead and show you.
Okay, like she says, this is just fresh off the press. This is October year-to-date, starting with the POA. Looking at gross profit, it's better by $241. Gain on disposal of asset, the Art Mo land, $350. Membership transfers are up $111. Assessments are up $94. Lot sales up $86. Recreation fees $73 better. Cell towers $48 better. And past due collections negative $82. Lot valuations a negative $148. And golf is down $373, has already been said about the weather and the sales of annuals. Looking at the expense, just comparing budget now, salary and wages are better by $270. Employee benefits better by $101. Utilities better by $76, positive across divisions. And maintenance repair better by $76. And professional services is less than budget by $2,706,000 due to the stump dump expense. EBITDA on this budget is a negative $1,720,000. Taking the same budget in the variances, October 2019 year to date, but we're eliminating stump dump and related expenses to that venture, one-time cell tower revenue, and the gain on Art Mo land. We end up with a positive $609,000. That's good. We've been operating really good. That's positive. Looking at the water utility, gross profit is down $163. Water sales are off $110, as y'all know, the rainy weather. And investment income is down by $46. Operating expenses are better by $145. Labor vacancies $60,000. Employee benefits better by $35. Donations $25, and maintenance repair better by 18, system maintenance. EBITDA on the water is a negative 18,000. That concludes my report.
Any questions from the board that they saw from there? Thank you, Dwayne.
Mind if I jump in?
Please jump in.
Since we have a number of people here today, what we wanted to do is, if you grab the financial reports, we're just going to talk about the very first page. I'm just going to give you a quick overview. This is a document that was recommended by one of our new board members. We call it the one-pager. It is a very brief overview of the financial position of the POA. If you really like getting into numbers, go onto our website. You can learn a lot more about our financials. But this is a brief one page. So if you start at the top of the top left-hand corner, you'll see the departments that are doing better than budget. So you see the GM office is better than budget by $423,000. 350 of that thousand is coming from the sale of ArcMo. That was the net after that was the book after you take out the book value. You see that recreation, Jones' department is doing really well. Golf maintenance, Keith is doing well. The MAC division, or maintenance and construction, is doing well. Rick was here earlier, lakes and parks, and HR, and you go all the way down to IT, and they're better than 30,000. The next column down, you'll see worse than budget. So F&B, after 10 months, is worse than budget by $12,000. That's not too bad. Legal, with some of the legal challenges, that is worse than budget. The Golf Pro Shop is worse, and that's a lot of weather related. I think we're 20 inches over annual averages. And then the general income and expenses, that's where the Trafalgar Fire expenses are going in. So it's pretty glaring right there. And then at the very bottom, you'll see that the water is just a little bit off of budget after 10 months. If you go to the top right-hand corner, you'll see the total EBITDA, and where Dwayne referenced the elimination of the cell tower, the stump dump, and ArcMo, those are the big variances for the year. We removed those large variances, and you can see that the adjusted EBITDA is better than budget by $609,000. So unfortunately, if it wasn't for the Trafalgar Fire, we would be having a tremendous year with better than budget by $600,000. Although you really can't see that, because when you have that large expense from the fire, it masks it. A lot of people have been very interested with how much we're borrowing from the water department. So here it is. You'll see that we're at $3,251,000. I'd like to remind people that we're at our cash poor time of year. This is when the cash does not come in, and we tend to need cash in October and November, and then December and January tend to be cash rich times of year. So if you were at the budget meeting, you would have seen that we estimate our year-end balance to water is about $2.8 million. Interestingly, about 2 months ago, we asked Dwayne to give us an estimate at the end of for the end of October, for the end of November, and for the end of December. And that estimate, he was off by $25,000 for the end of October. So pretty good job on Dwayne's part on estimating. And then on the bottom, you can see where the cash reserves are. We bring the cash all the way as close to the bottom as possible for the POA side, and you'll see that's where the water is. So once again, if you want more information, there's a wealth of information on our website. This is a brief one page, and it gives you a quick snapshot of how the POA is doing. If you don't view any other financials, this is the only document you need to look at. But if you want more, there's more available.
Questions or comments on that? Tia?
So how much did we actually borrow in October from water?
$325,000.
That was $325,000 if you didn't hear it. $350,000.
And how much do we expect for 2019 that we will extra expend on fire for closing the rest of the fire sites and things like that? Do we have it? You said you estimated for November and December. Do we have that?
The majority of the expenditure for the Trafalgar site is out. We may have an additional $100,000 or so. So for the Trafalgar site, we may have an additional $100,000 this year. Is that accurate? With regards to the Highland site, we have ordered the geosynthetic clay liner, and so that expenditure will be this year also. And Dwayne has factored both of those expenditures into his estimates.
And last question, I swear, 2020. Do we expect anything to fall into 2020 as an expense towards the stone dome?
Absolutely.
Other than legal?
Well,
We can't hear.
you might have to
Oh,
speak into
sorry.
the
I
microphone.
asked if there was anything that we planned in 2020 expense in the fire other than legal.
Yeah, I think it's going to be, I think we're going to have, it's hard to estimate. We're estimating that it's going to hit this year, but it's possible that it could hit next year. We don't have complete control of the situation because we have to get permission to do everything from DEQ. And so sometimes that permission is not as forthcoming as we'd like it to be.
And before we move forward, we have to have the grass grown in to their satisfaction.
Well, and we also, at the Trafalgar site, the grass is coming in very well, but we did have some storm damage that still needs to be repaired. You know, there is a significant drop-off in elevation
Correct.
in that area, and we had an unusual amount of rain, and so we now have to repair some of the damage that occurred at that location.
As most people, if they had uneven lawns, had. So, okay, any other questions? If not, last month's open forum comments and questions, there were no comments. The open forum tonight is limited to 3 minutes, and we have the clock over here. Tammy's running it. And prior to making comments, please state your name and the street of the property you're on. And please remember limiting to 3 minutes. We're going to go to that. I have 3 people signed up on my list. Liz Teal, you're first up.
I just want to say thank you to Tom Judson, the POA staff, and the POA board members.
Name and address.
Oh, sorry. Liz Teal, 95 Mayfair Drive.
Thank you.
And again, I would like to thank Tom Judson, the POA staff, the POA board members for your efforts in promoting the assessment plan and vote. It is very disappointing that the vote failed by such a small margin, but even though the vote was unsuccessful, it is apparent that there is a strong support for another vote. It is interesting that those members who oppose the assessment increase rely on the language of the declaration, which requires an affirmative vote of 51% of the members, rather than a simple majority, to approve the assessment increase. If it wasn't for the required 51% affirmative vote under the declaration, this was a successful assessment increase vote. The votes opposed to the assessment increase were less than 50%. The members who support POA go away conveniently ignore the language of the declaration, which requires an affirmative vote of 2/3 of the members to change the declaration and dissolve the POA. In the history of the POA, there have been just a few instances when a vote of the members exceeded 50%. It would be virtually impossible to obtain the vote of 2/3 of the members, much less have all of those members vote to amend the declaration and dissolve the POA, and agree on how the POA's assets would be liquidated under the declaration requirements. A much better use of all members' time and energy would be to keep an open mind, work together for the benefit of everyone in the community, to understand how additional assessment revenue can significantly improve our amenities, attract new members, and increase our property investment. Thank you.
Thank you, Liz. Next up, I have Nancy Stock.
Nancy Stock, 23 Hinckley Circle. The last vote showed that we are extremely divided. And I think it's up to the board to figure out why we are so divided. Why did people vote no? And there are many reasons why they did. And I think the board's job coming up is to compromise. You have to take into consideration the people that voted no and why they voted no. One of the big things was the budget. And I take kind of, when you talk about the budget and you say, we would have had a good year had this not happened. Every year there's something. I would have won the lottery. I was one number off. the matter is, I didn't win. We have to deal with facts. We have to deal with the numbers that we had. Another thing that caught me was when golf said members that play golf is down. Why are we having golf courses for people outside the membership? If the membership doesn't want to golf, and I'm not saying golf should go away completely. That's what people say, oh, you want golf gone completely. No. If the members don't want to golf, then do something about it. That's your job, to get this budget under control. We didn't have a good year. Golf lost, the restaurants lost, and there's a reason for it. So we have to come together, we have to compromise, and I am hoping that any rumors I hear about it being even more divided are wrong. And some things you can do legally, but they're not right. And I hope you take that into consideration. Thank you.
Thank you. Sandy Fosdick. Sandy Fosdick. She's in the other room, okay? Okay. Well, no, they're really comfy out there, personally.
Hi, Sandy Fosdick, 37 Stonehaven Lane. I'm not even quite sure where to start. I attended the budget meeting. I expected to see great improvements because the campaign was members first. Both the budget for the pass of the 2020 and the budget for the fail of 2020, I don't think does enough. You can sit there and you can say you don't understand why members playing golf is down. Well, think about it. I'm money wise myself. If I'm a member and I'm playing golf, I'm going to pay $41 a round. But if I'm a non-member and I go buy one of those cheap cards, I can pay for $33. Why would I pay you $41 when I can pay $33? I'm wise with my money. It doesn't appear that the board or the POA is. And I'm asking for members first. Give me a budget that I can believe in. Show me that we're spending our money wisely, because I'm just not seeing it. And don't just move money from one account into another. Our insurance premiums last year were $371,000. This next year, they're $450,000. And I understand a good share of that is because of the liability insurance. We messed up. Past board members messed up. We didn't have the stump dump listed as an amenity. We're paying for that now. And we can't ignore it. But don't take it from each department and move it into the general expense and income ledger. Dwayne, you got funny math there. And hide it from us. We members want to see where the money's going. It's our money. And as far as the 2020 planning goes, don't tell me there aren't going to be any fees increased and then come to a budget meeting and tell me you're going to increase the pontoon boat rentals by $5 an hour and you're going to increase the RV by $2. We're not stupid. We know that if we don't fight against this, you can increase the fees. That's just not right. Don't do that to people. That's wrong. That's not honest. We want to know where the money's going. We want the assessment to pass. We know that things everywhere go up in price. And we're willing to pay more. But the rumor on the street is you're going to send through immediately before the city asks for money, you're sending through another vote. We're going to spend another $40,000. You want me to pay $13? This is rumor. You want me to pay $13?
Your time is up. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The math doesn't add up.
Thank you. Those are the three that I have on my list. Is there anyone else who is asking to speak tonight? Anybody from the comfy seats out in the foyer? Okay.
My name is Dave Armstrong. I'm at 34 Mackenzie Drive. I love Bella Vista. I might be in the minority here, at least I'm in 50% of us love it. And I think even some of the people that don't vote for this love it here, and they just want to see some change. But there's so much to love about Bella Vista. There's the hills and the trees and the lakes and the golf courses. And maybe golf play is down, but I can tell you as a realtor here in Bella Vista, people are coming here because of golf. People are coming here because of the trails. People are coming here because of the beauty. People are coming here because of the economy. People are moving to Bella Vista from all over the country because this is a special place to live. This is a special place to live because of the people in our community. We were honoring several of those wonderful community leaders here tonight. And I can't thank you enough for the coat drive and for helping in the swim and helping with the Rangers. We have people that are active in this community that love Bella Vista. Is it perfect? Is it the Garden of Eden? No, but I dare you to go anywhere that is. This is one of the greatest places. I want to thank all of you on the board for taking the time and the effort to be a part of this and a part of the solution. We have to come up with a plan that we can all move forward together as a community, and a community that says we are proud to be Bella Vistans. We are proud to live here in one of the greatest places in the country. And I want to come up with a plan that makes sense for everyone. When they say, well, all you're going to do is raise our fees, that's what this last vote was about, is to reduce our fees. That's what the whole point was. Yeah, the fees keep going up for pontoon boats and for golf and for everything else. And it's not right. What's right is to take control again as a community and say, here's what we want. We want to come together as a community in the POA and say to each other, let's do this for the community. Let's not just think individually what's good for me, but what is good for a community. When I lived in Overland Park, Kansas, we had one of the greatest public school systems in the country. My kids got beyond school age. Did that mean I no longer voted for tax increases because my kids weren't in school anymore? No, it was good for the community to have my kids go to those schools. There are a lot of things that maybe I don't take advantage of here in Bella Vista, but I see the value. I'll never get on a trail, on a bike. I'm too old for that. I can't get up and down those hills, but I'm sure glad we have them because I know, again, as a realtor, there are people moving here because of those trails. So I thank you again for your time. I thank you for your effort. Let's get together, Bella Vista. Let's do this.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Go down to normal. Hi, I'm Debbie Sorensen. I live on Kinlock Drive. For the last 3 years, I've organized a meeting every quarter, which is called the Welcome Meet and Greet. This last meeting we had in November, we had over 65 attendees of brand new residents, and they are from all over the United States. It's Texas, it's Wyoming, it's North Carolina, it's Florida, and they have all moved here for many, many different reasons, including golf, but also the bike trails, also the lakes and the beauty of the area. It's probably 50% of the group is retired, the other 50% are working. And I just have to say how excited they are. And our next meeting will be in March, and I'm sure we'll have 50 to 60 new residents again. And it's just, I'm very, very proud to stand up and go over the amenities with this group. And I want to thank all of the board members for all the work you've done. Thank you.
Anyone else?
I'll speak, if you don't mind. Good evening. My name is Robert Stock. I live at 23 Hinckley Circle, and my wife and I have lived there for 23 years or so. Just like that gentleman said over here that he loves Bella Vista, I could say the same thing. But the problem of it is, when it comes to Bella Vista, loving the amenities and paying for the amenities is where the rub comes. And I think probably the reason that last vote didn't go through was the high cost of the salaries. If you look at the salaries, everything that we have here for management salaries, you can flip a page and double it, because the city has the same thing. We're a community of 35,000 people. The average cost of a mayor for a community of 35,000, their pay is $57,000. Not here. The mayor makes 90, Tom makes 270. We're paying almost $400,000 for governance to a community of 35,000 people. That figure should be, no one working for the POA should make any more than the mayor. Whether you, here at the POA, I've seen it since I've lived here, the problem with the POA is they want it to be the way it was 50 years ago. Things have changed. Now we've got two taxing authorities, the property owners, and we've got City Hall. Here's your opportunity after this last vote went down, was to look at expenses. Get a thing of all every employee you have. Put a dollar figure next to it. Why is this person working here? What does this person do? Everything we do, maintenance, city's got maintenance. In 207, half of that job got cut in half. Half went to the mayor, to the city, and the other half stayed here. But the salaries here went 4 and 5 times more than what the job actually calls for. And I think that was your big downfall. And I think here you have an opportunity to look at expenses. And I'm just going to touch on one thing. I saw that little thing on golf, which the annual green fee people, the problem with the annual green fee people is they play thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of rounds of golf free every year. But that's not even the problem. The problem, they pay Monday through Friday, group golf. Then they all play Saturday and Sunday. But when they play Saturday and Sunday, they all play for free. Okay, they play for free. The problem comes in is that they're taking up a tee time that someone should be paying for, $41 or $50. But no one can make that tee time because the annual golf members are using up all that. And then Saturday and Sunday is when outside people or what have you, non-residents come and play, $50 a round. But I can tell you, half, if not more, of the tee times on Saturday and Sunday are from the annual golf fee people paying nothing.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Appreciate it. Anyone else? Anyone else would like to open forum? If not, we'll shut open forum at this time and move on. Tom, do you want to go to the next one, or you want me to take it? The budget.
The next one on the agenda, when we presented the budget to the community, we presented 2 budgets. Because of the failure of the assessment increase that was proposed to the community, the budget that we are presenting to the board is the fail budget. And we're proposing that the board approve the operating and capital budgets that were presented to the community.
Okay, I'd like a motion on the table to approve the budget, the failed budget.
I make a motion to approve the 2020 operating and capital budgets, referred to as the fail budget.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second? Okay, open for discussion.
Point of clarification. Point of clarification that we're voting on a operating and capital budget as well as the cash flow budget.
And to add to that, Ruth, we're also approving with this budget, or considering it, we're considering the rate schedule of activities would remain the same as this year.
Correct.
For all activities.
Correct.
And the card would be 38 instead of 30.
So, couple of things. Yes, to Steve's question, it does include approval of the simple cash flow budget. And this also, Jim, the only changes that we're asking for with regards to rates are the ones that were referenced earlier, which are the change for pontoon rentals and the
Blowing Springs.
Blowing Springs, okay.
Yeah. Other than that, everything would remain the same.
All right.
For a rate change, I thought we had to have a board vote separately to change rates. I did not realize we were voting on that
in the
at
budget.
same time.
No, because by approving the operating budget, you're approving the rates that are supporting the revenue.
Are there any others I don't know of other than those two?
Just those.
Okay.
Any discussion? This has gone over in detail last Thursday, as everybody was there and heard that and has talked about it since. Steve?
I want to start off and agree with some of the comments that we love Bella Vista also. Love the peace and quiet, the wildlife, the amenities, believe in supporting the community. And I want to thank you to the board, our Chief Operating Officer and his management team for all of the 2020 budget work that they have done and we have all done. We spent a lot of time and effort on it, and that at least needs to be acknowledged. So we're voting this evening, as we mentioned, on the cash flow budget for the 2020 budget per policy 703. So as it stands, I cannot and will not support it, and what follows are my opinions only and do not represent anyone else's. I have to have a couple of problems with the budget as presented. The top line number is still cash flow negative, and after you make a couple of line item adjustments to the bottom line, for example, with assumptions about golf revenues and expenses, that could turn out to also be cash flow negative. So that is a huge issue for me, but not to just dwell on the issue, but the potential solution would be, as other members have suggested, is to take more control over the expense items. And we would have to cut them to make things work. And we could either jump wholeheartedly into that, or we could make some beginning adjustments such that we're beginning to at least address and move from a situation where expenses are exceeding revenues to begin to slowly, because we know revenues aren't changing, but we could be reducing expenses such that revenues, if we're moving in that positive direction, I have no problem with probably supporting it. And then the second issue I have is one of allocations of our precious hard-earned dollars. The 2020 budget allocates, I mean, there's nothing there, as we all know, but it allocates another $80,000 for membership elections. Speaking just for myself, I'd rather see the dog park get fixed for $13,000 or $14,000. I'd rather see our accounting system get upgraded. I believe we have to maintain our amenities as much as possible. So with those two issues of negative cash flow and resource allocations, I cannot support this proposed budget, but I will make a motion that we postpone this 2020 budget vote to give the board more time to make what I feel are necessary changes until our December regular meeting.
We already have a motion on the table.
That's a separate motion.
So we
Yeah,
have,
so,
we'll take the first one. We'll take the first one. Go ahead, Jim.
I haven't digested your comments yet, Steve, but regardless, this failed budget does cash flow slightly. And regardless, we have lowered the CapEx by many hundreds of thousands in this budget. And I think it's wonderful work on the part of our management team to have both budgets ready for us as of tonight. And that I don't disagree, but I think our proposed budget now with the failed budget, which is what was presented, is very frugal for next year. I really do.
It is frugal.
Jerry?
Yeah, I've watched all the managers' meetings that you've had, Tom, with them, and I've seen how deep a lot of them have cut. They went into that with a percentage cut already, and then they had to dig for even more. And I'm kind of like Jim. I watched these guys cut and cut and cut. We can't live how they did in the past. I'm focused on what's there today. And for your question,
I think that what is happening here, we've moved to a really small percentage of being that cash flow positive. I don't think you can cut anymore without hurting this whole organization. And that, why I'll support it, because of that reason. I think we are moving towards it. Next year, I expect us to get there too. I think it's a 2 to 3 year process to get to where Steve wants us to get. I don't think it needs to be a hurt that we actually have to get into the amenities that all of us here appreciate.
Thank you. Other comments? Tia?
Steve, you know I support some time maybe to push this to December and discuss, but I do want to make it clear that I do support this budget the way it is. This is what the members have been asking for us. This is what I got elected to do, was to help with this budget. What a lot of people don't see, and the members never see it, it's like Steve said, the hours and hours and days we have spent and management has spent reducing as much as we possibly can. This is not the solution. This budget is not perfect. There are things that we need years to correct because of where we are. It is cash flow positive, and the reductions that have been made, I commend the members or the management and this board for pushing for those things, because there have been lots of changes from draft one, and I appreciate it, and I know it's rough, and I know it's going to be a hard year. I don't know where we can cut from this year. It's going to be a multi-year process.
Thank you. Just to reference the procedure, each management team came in with their budget and presented to us a pass-fail budget and presented possibilities for both directions. The board had time to ask any question that they wanted to ask and clarification, etc. And after all of them were done, the board met and discussed the budget as presented and what we thought needed to maybe be corrected or changed, etc. We met and did that. We asked COO to go back to management and say, these are the changes we'd like to see, or the amount we'd like to see dropped, or whatever the case may be. They went back and they cut their budgets. They cut them tight, very tight. We asked them one more time and they got even tighter. So this budget presented tonight is a very tight budget for management to work with, but they are the ones that presented it to us and agreed to it to present to you tonight. So I think they need to be really applauded in the efforts they put forth. They want desperately to put the best product forward to each of you. We have asked them to do so by cutting back and cutting back and cutting back. So I think it's imperative that we support tonight with the budget and hope that the future looks a whole lot brighter than it will with the failed budget tonight. Anybody else? Now, can I call for a vote? Okay.
I would move that we approve the budget for 2020 as expressed.
That motion has been made and seconded
Okay,
already.
I'm sorry.
So
Okay,
that's
can we
all right.
call
So-
for a vote?
So Ruth can call for a vote.
Okay. I'm asking for those to support, to make a motion to approve the 2020 operating and capital budget referred to as a failed budget. All those in favor? All those opposed? So that takes care of everybody. Thank you. Okay, the next item on the agenda is a motion to approve the 2020 plan assessment increase. David, do you want to go ahead with that one for right now? Revised 2020 plan.
Thank you. I make a motion for the membership to vote on an increase to improved lot assessments from $24 per month to $37 per month, and to not increase unimproved lot assessments and keep them at $16 per month, with the proposed increase for improved properties going into effect March 1st, 2020. Members must be in good standing as of December 3rd, 2019, in order to receive a ballot. The voting will commence for members in good standing on December 12th, 2019. A special meeting of the members will be called for January 16, 2020, upon which the voting will conclude and the results will be announced. If the assessment increase is approved by the membership, the proposed 2020 to 2022 fee schedule will be adopted by the board and go into effect as of March 1st, 2020.
This is a vote to move the decision to ask for an assessment forward. And that's what we're talking about tonight. I need a second, excuse me. We have a second for them.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. The vote was very close, as you know. We did have a popular vote, so we have people who want the assessment increase. Yes, we have equal number of people who don't want it, and being the 51% obviously cost us. So we feel it's time to send it back. Yes, as time goes on and talked about, there will be some revisions as we talk about it and move forward. But we think it's critical that we move forward with an assessment increase at this time. So I will entertain any statements from the board or any questions from the board. Jerry?
I've kind of thought about it, and I don't really have a problem getting loud, I guess. But I don't really think I even need that, too loud. When my wife and I moved here back in 2016, we had already bought property in Galveston, Texas, on the island. We were going to build a beach home. That was our dream for retirement. I've been coming up here for 26 years with my dad. I love the area. I have loved it since the day I came up, but I didn't think my wife would, because at that time, we just got married. I didn't know all of her likes that she would like. But during that time that I was coming up to my dad, I saw how Bella Vista was as a community. I remember going to church, and I was the only young one in that whole church. And it was kind of shocking to me, and now, of course, that's changing, but the demographics as the years have gone by have changed. Well, that's the past. I'm looking at the future. That's all I can control is what's in front of us today. And the 2020 plan is a very good plan. No matter how you get it, it's there. Whatever your reasons for moving to Bella Vista, I'm willing to bet that every person moved here for the beauty that's here. They knew about the amenities, whether you use them or not. The amenities are here for other enjoyment. The young crowd that comes in on a regular basis are busy with their lives just like we were. I didn't even start playing golf until I was retired, really, because I didn't have time. I was raising my family. But on weekends, we played hard, my kids and I. We were always, that amenities are here for them to do. Therefore, you see the boats out on the lake and the swimming, the beach, everything that's there. I'm looking at what's today. And this package, no matter how you look at it, is a great benefit for those people that live here in Bella Vista. And that's how I focus what I'm doing on today. I can't control what happened in the past. I can't control the budget. I can't control anything. But I do remember when this amenity, this one right here, was a storage building. And we all saw it when it was grand, when there was dances and all that. And it just fell apart. Well, that's where a lot of the $14 million went, to restore what we had pride in. Everybody says, oh, you ran through $14 million. It took that much to repair the damage that was done. So you know where your money went. You don't have to put it on a fictional letter out there or anything. You can hate the POA, want it to go away. But in reality, every one of us moved here for something that's here. I don't do every amenities out here. I do a lot of them. But I don't do every one. But I respect people that do what they do and what they enjoy. And that's where I'm coming from. That's why I will support this assessment. It's a quick turnaround, I understand. But that quick turnaround, it's changed a little bit. I believe in Bella Vista. I believe the way it should go, the way it be, where it is, for families in the future, for us now. And that's where I'm focusing on what's here now. And I've talked to older people, I've talked to a lot of people about it, and that's how they feel. So not everybody is saying, oh, go away with the high salaries. Anybody who wants to talk to me, I have a cousin that ran a country club similar to what we have here. And I asked questions specifically of him of what Tom did. He said to replace Tom, anybody will take a job, but they can't give you the quality that you've got. And you can't replace him for the price he's making now. So I want everybody to think about that. Might be high salaries, but it's well worth the effort that's there. And as your working careers, think about your working careers. Your boss, he makes a high salary, but there's a reason for that. And you try to get to that level. A lot of us can't. So I just spoke my piece. That's it.
David? Jim.
David.
Yeah. I was looking at David's name down there. I'm sorry.
David's gone,
she'll
but
talk next
anyway, I have to echo your comments. I can't be as passionate, and I can't be as passionate as Dave Armstrong was, but I've been here since '74, and I really, regarding the activities here, I really think we've got to stem the tide of the decline of golf here. That's one amenity that we've got to try to stem. We keep losing 7,000 to 9,000 rounds a year, and we keep upping the price a little bit, and this 2020 plan, which would be included in this assessment proposal, for 3 years, it lowers golf rates for annuals, it lowers it for daily, it raises it for public golf, which was part of the reason that people were upset because 41 and 50 are too close, 52 and 33 are not. But hopefully we can start balancing the golf play, especially daily play. I know I abuse the annual rate, so do you, but I love it, but we do good. And I just feel that this is a good plan. I think we got closer this time. Some people can say we got closer in 16, but we didn't, because in 16 we didn't hear the griping from the membership. Well, you voted 600 of your lots to get that 50.8. This time we were 50.1, but had we voted our lots, we might have made it, although we've been doing so good selling lots here that we're down to 30 lots. We're selling lots, and as Dave mentioned, Bella Vista is growing. It's prosperous. It's part of Northwest Arkansas. In 2010, we had 10 housing permits. The last 2 years, we've had 250. Bella Vista is prosperous, and if this fail that we had the other night can't be reversed, it'll hurt property values. It'll hurt the value of the 21,000 property owners who don't have houses on their lots but would like to sell them to get houses on their lots. And I think we can be a real partner in the boom of Northwest Arkansas if we just keep this shop in order. And I think we need this assessment increase. And we all agree this is a tough time of year to pose it because of Christmas and everything, but I think Hot Springs Village tried it in 15 and it passed. And sure, there'll be the controversy of $35 for residents and a zero from 16 to stay at 16 for non-property owners. But of the 21,000 property owners who don't live here, 3,000 of them used our amenities once or more. 3,000 of the 21,000. So it's fair that we apportion the assessment a little more to our residents and vice versa. Let's bring some of the fees in accordance to the declining use. So that's my attitude.
Just a side note on the annual fees. With all the rain we've had, we thank God for annual fees because those have paid up front whether they play or not. And as much rain as we've had, they have played. Any other comments? David. I have it right, David.
Yeah, right, David, this time. The first thing I want to say is that we have to remember that Bella Vista was founded on the idea of assessment-supported amenities. It didn't say that the amenities had to break even or make a profit. The idea was that thousands of property owners would contribute a small amount to make a lot of different amenities available for the use of the membership. So keep that in mind when you start talking about restaurants have to be profitable or golf has to make money, or forget it. That's not what Bella Vista is or ever was. Jim will back me up on that. In the 35 years I've been here, not as long as Jim, but in the 35 years I've been here, I have seen a lot of changes in management. And I have to tell you, the group that we have now are head and shoulders above anything that I've ever seen before. This group that we have has brought the amenities and the management of our amenities into the 21st century, and they continue to improve. They're worth every penny we pay them. I wish we could pay them more, but we can't. They work together. That starts because of the man at the top, and he takes care of his people, and he works with them. And I have seen them work together. I know they work together. The inflation is an enemy of our assessment. Everybody's felt it since 2001, the last increase. Inflation has hit everybody. It has hit us, and we're trying to keep up in today's world, keep these amenities up to snuff with an outdated assessment. We have to have the money to keep things up. When the 2020 plan was developed, and it took over 10 months to figure that out, how to make it work, and we listened to the membership. It started with that and what they wanted. As far back as 2015, we were told the membership doesn't use the amenities because of the little ticky-tacky fees. Okay, let's get rid of them. They're not free. There's no such thing as a free lunch, but pay it in your monthly assessment, and here we are back to assessment-supported amenities again, which is where we're supposed to be. This budget that we just passed has $49,000 for capital expense for the year. People, we're going backwards. That's not even breaking even for the year. Things wear out faster than that in a month, and we just don't have the money. We can't cut anything. I noticed the difference in getting around the village and seeing here and there. I can see in this 1 year when we chopped $1 million out of the budget, I can see it already. In response to Sandy, who talked about the $33 free golf fee for non-members, that golf fee is in off hours when our membership does not want to play. It's in the afternoons. It's not used, you can't use it for a tournament or anything like that. For us, it's free money. It's money that we wouldn't have gotten if we didn't sell that card. Plus, it's tremendous advertising that absolutely doesn't cost anything because we have money coming in as a result of it. And as far as the annual golf memberships getting free golf, I prefer to look at it as my cost per round is just a little bit lower each time I play. It's never quite free. It's just a little bit lower. Thank you.
I have had several people ask me about the 2020 plan and the budget for today, and we talk about 201 money. Take your budget today and what you earned 20 years ago. Does it support the budget you have today? Mine doesn't come anywhere close, and I'm not extravagant, but mine doesn't come anywhere close to what I have today. So you can't put a 2020 budget together and today's money from 2001. It doesn't work, and that's what we're trying to go against tonight and to change. Dia, go ahead.
I'll be short and sweet, but I want to be very clear. I cannot support this tonight, to seek another election this quick and this fast without having time to digest it and to listen to the member feedback just a little bit more. I know I've been watching it for months, and all of y'all have probably gotten a response from me. I'm sorry. But to be very clear, I can't support the timing. As far as the 2020 plan, I wholeheartedly support it, and I want it, and I encourage everyone, if this passes tonight and we do another vote, to vote yes. Cannot support the timing, but I support this plan. This is what I want as a member. This is what our community needs. We need to come together, like Dave Armstrong said. We need this money right now, and I really hope it passes. I really do. Thanks.
Other comments? Steve?
Yeah, I want to be clear also that I supported the 2020 plan. Thought it was fantastic. I thought it addressed a lot of the issues that have been simmering really since 2015 when the master trail plan was adopted to make Bella Vista into a tourist town with all the amenities open to the public and have us pay for it. This plan addressed a lot of those concerns. It was really fantastic. It was fully supported, as it says, by all 9 board members. Unfortunately, it didn't pass, as everyone knows. It was very close, but I certainly prefer full-on landslides, a mandate, if you will. And I feel like we can get there as a community if we'll say, why did you vote yes? Or why did you vote no? And put together the best of all the ideas and come up with a new plan rather than trying to put out another plan that basically, to me, is wholly different. At the 0 rate and a $13 rate, I don't see the numbers adding up. So to me, as a board member with the obligation, I have no clue where that money's coming in or where it would go to. So I fully supported, loved the 2020 plan, thought it put us right back where we needed to do. I would say that we need to, again, postpone this plan and ask the members, talk to the members, get feedback. Why'd you like it? What didn't you like it? And then go from there. So I would again make a motion to hold off on any sort of a assessment increase until next fall, when that gives us plenty of time to listen again to members.
Anyone else? Anyone else? If not, I'm going to, since we have a motion and a second, I'm going to ask for a vote. But before I do, I want to make it perfectly clear that the motion of the membership to vote to increase the improved lot assessment from $24 per month to $37 per month, and not to increase unimproved lot assessment, to keep them at $16 per month, with the proposed increase for improved properties going into effect March 1st, 2020. That will be using the same 2020 plan that has been put out. Nothing will change with the 2020 plan. Okay. Members must be in good standing on December 3rd, 2019 in order to receive a ballot. The voting will commence for members in good standing on December 12th, 2019. A special meeting of the members will be called for January 16th, 2020, upon which the voting will conclude. As a result and the results will be announced. If the assessment increase is approved by the membership, the proposed 2020-2022 fee schedule will be adopted by the board and go into effect March 1st, 2020. Go ahead.
So, minor correction on your statement. So the 2020 plan, we're going with the fee schedule.
Fee schedule, as is.
But the 2020 plan in the brochure included 11 and 2, and that
Correct.
is being changed.
Yes.
So,
We
which
will
you-
make the corrections.
You referenced in
So,
your.
I screwed up.
No, you did great.
Oh, yeah. I can be replaced real easily.
But it's, you stated, what was stated
Yeah.
by David in
Yeah.
the motion
Right.
is the new rate schedule
rates. Mhm.
for the assessments.
Yeah.
So the 2020 plan user fee schedule. remains intact.
Okay, does everybody understand that clearly? Okay, at this time, I'm calling for a vote. All those to wish to move this forward, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, voting no? Abstaining. David Watchell is abstaining. I had to make sure that we had the right person, so carries 6, 2 and 1 carries. We will be moving forward with an assessment vote at this time.
And David Welchel had a stipulated proxy.
So we will be moving forward. We thank you. Okay, at this time we have announcements. The GM meeting is Thursday, December 5th. Remember, we're early 1, 2, and 3 Thursdays because of December. At 4:30 in the boardroom, that's a closed meeting. The director's work session will be Thursday, December 12th at 9 a.m. here in the Country Club. And I lost the last one. Gotta have it here someplace. The Board of Directors, regular Board of Directors meeting is Thursday, December 19th at 6 o'clock here in the boardroom. And then in January, we go back to the 2, 3, and 4 Thursdays. So the 9th is the GM meeting, the 16th is the work session, and the regular meeting is January 23rd. Any additions or anything added for the good of the cause? If not, we stand adjourned. Or sit adjourned.
Nice job.
Replace me, please.